The call came on a Thursday evening while Gregory Peck was in his Bel Air study reviewing notes for Roman Holiday, the phone ringing with the insistence of someone told not to take no for an answer. A studio legal representative had a question simple, he said, about the screenplay. Gregory listened without interrupting. Wait. Because what unfolded in the next 72 hours would force Gregory Peck and Frank Sinatra into a confrontation that could unravel the most important film either man had touched that decade and expose something the studio had badly miscalculated about both of them. The question: had Gregory known that Roman Holiday's screenplay was written by Dalton Trumbo, blacklisted, exiled to Mexico, one of the Hollywood 10, and would he sign a statement disavowing that knowledge? Gregory said he would call back. He set the receiver down. His jaw was set in the way those who knew him had learned to read as the beginning of something deliberate. Then he picked the phone up again, not to call the studio, to call Frank Sinatra. Sinatra came through the side door without knocking, cigarette burning, eyes doing the hard calculation of a man deciding how serious this was going to be. Gregory poured bourbon without being asked and explained the situation. Sinatra listened, completely still. Then, they called me too. Wanted me on record saying Ian Hunter wrote it start to finish. I told them I'd think about it. I don't need to think about it. Have you ever watched someone weigh a decision that's already made, simply because the weight demands to be felt before it can be set aside? Gregory said, if either of us says a word against Trumbo, it goes back on Dalton. He's been in Mexico 3 years, writing under other names just to survive. One statement, and every front writer in this town cuts ties with him. Sinatra was quiet. Then, I was on red channels in 50, same list you were on, which means, Gregory said, they want compliance more than truth, and we both know it. Sinatra didn't answer. He didn't need to. The studio representative arrived the following evening at Gregory's house, on Gregory's terms with Sinatra present. He placed a draft statement on the table. Gregory did not pick it up. Let me understand the request, he said, in the voice that dropped one register when things were serious. You want me to sign a document stating I was unaware of the authorship of a screenplay I worked from for 4 months. Mr. Peck. It's simply, I haven't finished. The room went completely still. You are asking me to sign something whose purpose is to give the studio cover in the event someone at the American Legion examines the credits. Is that accurate? The man's jaw tightened. He glanced at Sinatra, who had not spoken, and was watching with the expression of a man watching a skilled surgeon. Mr. Peck, the studio, who wrote the screenplay. Not a question, a fact stated for the record. Then Sinatra spoke. Dalton Trumbo wrote it. Even, clear, final. You know that. We know that. No document changes it. The representative tried 4 approaches over the next 40 minutes. Gregory dismantled each not by attacking the man, but by asking him in plain language what the document said and what its actual purpose was. By the 3rd attempt, the man had lost the thread of his own argument. Gregory shook his hand at the door. Tell them I understand the concern. I also understand that no studio memo changes what the Constitution guarantees a man. The door closed. Sinatra, from the hallway, you enjoy that. I enjoy clarity. Gregory said, there's a difference. But what kept Gregory at his desk until 2 a.m. was the harder knowledge. They had won a room, not a war. The Blacklist was still running. Trumbo was still in Mexico. What Gregory Peck and Frank Sinatra had done was hold a line for one night, which was sometimes the only thing available. And sometimes exactly enough. Roman Holiday opened that August to a triumph. Audrey Hepburn won the Academy Award. Trumbo's name did not appear in the credits that restoration would take decades and outlast them both. But the film existed. It had not been disavowed. No statement had been signed. In the mathematics of moral courage, that was the entire accounting. This is what Hollywood used to mean. Not stardom, but using that standing to hold a line when the pressure was real. If you remember when Frank Sinatra and Gregory Peck were both on a government list and neither one flinched, this channel is for you. Share this with someone who remembers when principle wasn't negotiable. Subscribe to keep these stories alive. And tell us, have you ever held a line at real cost simply because it was the right one? Every story matters. Every voice deserves to be heard.